They apparently got another Marsh. That's a bit curious, but nonetheless, that's gonna be apparently the case for the third game. They're getting also a Marsh, as we have seen in the second one, but this time obviously quite a bit different civilizations, as Bogsveigir is gonna be playing ISIS, his teammate SonOfAyahxRaven, or rather, no, MythOfAgeology, is going to be playing Oranos, but SonOfAyahxRaven is gonna be Oranos as well, and then Fargo, gonna be Thor this time around. That almost seems like a bit of a double material, yet again, Thor and Oranos. Or yet again. It wasn't played in the last game too much that way. So okay, Oranos Thor. Let's see how they're gonna be right now doing and dealing with that. As you're gonna be switching into the observer point of view so that we see both sides properly and we can be estimating and seeing how they're gonna be scouting. With the MythOfAgeology, the gold gonna be nicely protected by the woodline here in the front. He's gonna be against SonOfAyahxRaven, so basically Oranos versus Oranos. Proper double with his own gold mine. No, yeah, it's alright. Not really too difficult to be dropping a few, like a temple maybe. Obviously the manor, and even if other our civilizations, a few houses in the front also wouldn't be too much of an issue. Otherwise, all the way to the top, that's gonna be the Thor, starting with the build order. They're using the Dwarven gold mine. As he's gonna be having secondary one to the back with a few hippos, and also the settlement here. Being so close, and the front gold mine yet again fairly similar to what his teammate SonOfAyahxRaven all the way to the bottom has. Shouldn't be too difficult for him. So you're gonna be looking at the last player, and just the Egyptian happens to be having kind of like the most unfortunate gold mine. It's a bit funny. That's obviously gonna be a bit of a problem for him, as he's gonna have to go for quite a heavy wall in front of it to protect it fully against the potential raiders from the Thor. Unless, of course, it's gonna be a phone double somewhere to the bottom. And for example, Fargo is gonna be even dropping a temple in there. It definitely could be working out. I'm gonna be curious if that will be really the case. You can see right now dropping just a house for some kind of cursory scouting. So that you can be seeing if the opponents are gonna be switching somewhere with their armies. With the relic for myth unit training time. Then the next one will be with Tale of Cerberus for the special attack recharge time. Fairly nice one. Fairly nice one indeed. So you're gonna be also right now looking all the way into the middle. That will be right now Mithril Horseshoes, 10% cavalry movement speed. Fairly important one. So far, kind of curious ones. As the myth unit relics are usually not used all that often, even though they really do yield quite a bit of advantage. Because having the special attacks quarter times more often is fairly influential, especially for something like piggies. It's rather useful, because they can be then, of course, upending the battles a whole lot more often. With myth unit crash vulnerability. This is kind of like the only one that is a bit on the lower side of efficacy and overall any kind of usefulness. But you know, for example, considering giants for the Norse, then they do have often, no, they actually all have the crash damage. Then it's kind of making a bit of a sense, because obviously you do deal both melee and crash damage at the same time, so they might be keeping themselves a bit more longer alive in those battles as well. But at any rate, as you're right now gonna be looking around, there seems to be dropping not a temple yet. He's gonna right now getting at least quite plenty of piggies. Maybe getting taken by the Oracle. Exactly. Yeah, it's a bit of a funny thing that Oracles take piggies from further than they can actually see. For some reason, the range for collecting the animals is larger than the vision. Not entirely certain why, but it is that way. So that's something that is to be taken into consideration. When you are, for example, gonna be playing against them, you need to be avoiding them at a bit higher and wider berth, at least a bit, or the girth, sorry, not berth. So apparently it seems like that Fargo is not all that minding the piggies, because he's having plenty of them inside his base already. And he did go for the defensive, right about now, temple inside the base. So they didn't want to be risking any kind of double. Slight disappointment, but alright, they want to be playing a bit more carefully. As they probably expecting that after the last game, their opponents are going to be a bit more careful as well. And thanks Glenn West for the follow. And it's going to be yet again for, I'm guessing, AOC. So as I said, tomorrow and on Friday, you're going to be having some matches from Euro Rumble. So feel free to visit there. Tomorrow at 18 GMT and on Friday at 13 GMT. Should be quite decent matchups that are lined up for streaming and, for example, of course, for playing. And well, here, this is gonna be just right. No, is he gonna be trying to go for Valor on them? He does have only two. Third one is a bit close by, not too far away. But I don't think he's gonna be really going all that hardcore for here and for this. They don't have any useful god powers to really use here. So not sure what would be the point. You can see they advanced about 505, 510 maybe. That's kind of looking like second TC faster heroic again. Because if he was going for only one TC heroic, then he'll be advancing probably a bit later, like 5:45, about 6 minutes. Usually then want to be jumping straight and getting a bit better economy earlier. So it seems like that we are gonna be not seeing anything all that special here from the ISIS, and therefore I'm also gonna be curious how Fargo is gonna be reacting to it. If he's gonna be still going for raiding, or if he's gonna be trying to get the second TC. It almost seems like the second TC in the meantime. As far as already in immediately. Getting rid of the backwood line here with SonOfAyahxRaven obviously having the vision. And he's gonna be, well, quite clad in asbestos. Because, of course, the god power does not damage your and friendly units. Yeah, you can see he's just gonna be close by, getting a bit of a 10 in there. Almost like Char, I'm thinking. But he doesn't mind. He's gonna be surviving all that extreme heat. As well, there are answers obviously right now. No, Fargo is gonna be trying to mimic what the Egyptian is gonna be expected to be doing. And he definitely is. You can see the second TC also for him. This needs to be right about now. Yep, putting in the empowerment and gonna be having quite a decent gold mine to the top of his map. So that's pretty solid, even though the starting one is a bit tricky maybe. And he started really kind of late on the wall in. That definitely should have been already done, because right now at this time he already could have been getting raided. But well, that's not gonna be the case. You can see the Turma gonna be taking the relic home for the animals being killed in single shot. Yet again on Marsh. Fairly good relic, because it's gonna be speeding things up quite a bit and making them easier. At the same time though, there is another part of that to be careful about, because inevitably you won't be luring the animals closer to, for example, your granaries. So if you're gonna be having that relic on animals like these, then you need to be kind of careful where you place your granary. Unless you want to be like having granary here and gathering there. As without the relic, they will be basically coming to you. So yep, need to be thinking about the game. In that case, really curious that nobody's picking up the one for the cavalry. Right now, movement speed, because that's fairly important. And rather influential on top of that as well. As you can see, the units are trying to get into formation here, quite desperately so. As bit of first engagements, it seems like that it's a bit bigger army for MythOfAgeology. Not that massively, but it's definitely something that will be making for obviously a whole lot more comfortable fight for him. Okay, so in the middle, so right now SonOfAyahxRaven, that's why he doesn't have as high or as big army as right now Teal. As you can see, Teal was expecting him to continue a bit more to the left. Nope, he's going the different way against the Oracle in there. But to finish my thought, you can see it was a bit of a division of the army, and that's why it seemed like MythOfAgeology was having a bit more, which in reality actually wasn't all that much of a case. To the top, obviously nothing much going on, just a few Hercers from Fargo to defend against the Sphinx raiding, with a relic for Thangbrang Gottwisher for cheaper villages. That's a damn good relic. That's something you might be wanting to really drop off as soon as possible. And that's, I think, only on villages, right? I don't think it's on dwarves. Yeah, because it's right now, they're reducing food cost. That's exactly right now the information that you need to be knowing that it doesn't work on the dwarves. And can I imagine that being significantly broken, actually, especially with Thor. But well, at any rate, in the middle, that's gonna be a bit of a small engagement, but it's only because SonOfAyah is gonna be right now kitchening from the back. Can see a bit of a nice maneuver. With the gold lines. Yeah, definitely good reaction by MythOfAgeology, because it was looking all kinds of sketchy. Especially if he happened to be getting some upgrade in that blue, which so far doesn't seem to be the case. He's not getting the medium infantry, but right about now, that's a bit of a strange turn back. He was trying to basically pick off one of the units because his opponent's army got a bit stretched. So he was having a potential opportunity for a bit of a hit and run. So he used that. You can see he's doing it again. Fortunately, he didn't get all that many shots, as he seemed to have targeted the Turma instead of anything else. But yeah, well, with a bit of assistance from Fargo, it will be time to maybe show up into the battlefield for Bogsveigir as well, because so far he isn't. He's not even advancing yet. That's a bit surprising to me. He's getting Shaft Mine. Why are we getting this there instead? Have I switched my keyboard? No, I haven't. So it's kind of weird. I'm not getting the numbers there, but maybe I'm just kind of right now confused because of all the older games that I'm playing. Because when I'm playing the DOSBox games, then obviously it's turned back into the numbers. Whereas here, in the normal keyboard, I'm having the Czech keyboard, so therefore it's the special letters. So maybe that's where my confusion is actually coming from. Well, then at any rate, you see right about now resulting. And also another part is that I'm having the hotkeys when I'm streaming live, and they are bound to the numbers through top, basically through keys through top rather than the numbers. So that's where my confusion is coming from. Because in recorded games it doesn't work. I have to be typing it into the chat. Yes, that's how the game works for whatever reasons. But yeah, well, there are plenty of oddities in Age of Empires and Age of Mythology games here and there, but still doesn't make them any less good games that we are enjoying. Now games, you can see that Red is still really taking a long time to join into the fun. You can see right about now finally he's gonna be in, dropping a Migdol, probably defensively there maybe. Where is he going? Aha. Gonna have to block the choke point here. A bit of walling is already underway as well. But considering there's gonna be a front down center for SonOfAyahx and also the back one at the same time, they seem to be in quite a comfortable position. I'm kinda liking what Fargo is doing to the top as far as controlling the town center in the front, which is his own. As the one to the bottom for the ISIS is not entirely all that great either. But yeah, well, it really seems like this one to the top is a whole lot more tactically important, so he's doing a good job in trying to make sure that the Egyptian doesn't have any kind of easy way of controlling that. In the meantime here, he should be... Why didn't he freeze it? Why? Like, that was just an obvious play. That should have been frozen when he got the Scaris in such a good timing. Because he would have killed the enemy economy, also disallowed the Migdol. That was a good opportunity missed. Because I'm not sure why he would be doing that. He doesn't have any kind of good god powers to block otherwise. Yeah, hitting it in between Ancestors and Eclipse, sure. But the probability is not like 100%. And blocking him from Migdol in such a crucial timing and also the portion of the economy, that was definitely worth. It was worth right there, waiting for him. Well, didn't take it. He's probably gonna be able to take it down anyway. And maybe that was the purpose, that he didn't want to stop the Migdol. That he was feeling that they are comfortable enough, and therefore they're gonna be able to take it down after, therefore like wasting 400 gold for the opponent. That might be the reason why he didn't do it. Legitimately might be, so let's gonna assume so. You can see two monuments here already. So there's gonna wait now the frost from Fargo. And well, of course, there was a bit of a blockage by the Isis monument, but it seemed to be far away. And for example, you can see he could have cast it like there. You can see even gonna be much more than enough casting it about here to get everything. So he kind of like proved the point after. But maybe it was, maybe he just wanted to be casting a bit better and wasn't sure about the like girth of the god power, how far away it's gonna be going. You can see a bit broken texture in there. So it's kind of like legitimate. If you're not comfortable with the god, then sure, just play it carefully. Why not? Why not indeed? Seems to have worked for him anyway, since he has also destroyed the Migdol stronghold. That's gonna be fine in there, and all the way to the bottom, nothing much going on. You can see just a bit of a small exchange with even still the Oracle alive for some reason. Well, that's probably gonna be it for him though. As he apparently decided to commit suicide here, letting himself be killed so that his friends can be having a bit better chance to escape. Oh well, what a sacrifice in there. What a mighty sacrifice by that Oracle from MythOfAgeology. So Heroic Age of Thea is already in. You can see right now they're gonna be trying to drop another Migdol, or right now he's actually hugging his TC. He does have excellent gold mine at the back, so it doesn't matter all that much where he places it. He just basically needs to be getting the units out of it as soon as possible. You can see double Scorpion Man. Excellent unit overall for the Heroic Age, especially against horses. Problem is that he's gonna be facing plenty of Frost Giants, and on top of that also Jarls. They are already great. So that means that we already have heavy cavalry with Copper Mail in there. That's gonna be of course quite a massive advantage, considering that Red is right now at medium Axeman, and that is pretty much it for the time being. With the opponent, or with the other player, that will be right now MythOfAgeology, not having too much, and Blue probably all that much either. Yeah, seems to be also not having too many ups. He definitely will be having though to send home a few Turmas, as the Steam Numbers are right now coming for him with some vengeance, and he does have them already at home, so it's gonna be safe. Or is it? Yeah, it should be. They are slow enough, so they should be right now able to target them fairly fine. You can see, of course, the damage is not gonna be all that massive, as they cannot use the special attacks against the heroes there. Some of them is gonna be already plummeting. TC is gonna be right now safe. So pretty good position right now for the right team. For Fargo and SonOfAyahxRaven. As Ancestors are right now coming in. Hyperion for SonOfAyah. I can see Fargo is gonna be getting also copper weapons. And medium infantry even. So he's gonna be getting some throwing axemen in there into the battle. Probably of course to defend against the spearmen. As otherwise he'll be quite heavy on the horses, and the frost giants might not exactly be all that full enough and well set up, considering this against Isis, as Isis is the one who's gonna be having a bit better chance on good priest because of the Nephthys there. No, okay, so it seems like there's gonna be maybe a bit of a country attack, but it's gonna be lasting as long as the Ancestors are gonna be lasting. Probably not that extremely longer than that. Don't entirely and exactly think so. As you can, of course, looking also to the bottom side, where SonOfAyahxRaven is gonna be quite massively raiding into MythOfAgeology, as I'm not sure where he was even going. What he was trying to do here. Because the TC is taken, maybe he wanted to drop some kind of palace there. Not sure, but he's gonna be definitely quite massively paying for that. And while a few Kontarai are also making an appearance, so maybe that's kind of preparation for TC Raiden and Lance of Stone. Could be. Could be, but definitely the truth is, with Hands of the Pharaoh for a better piece with Bogsveigir, well, the Balder is probably gonna be quite an important god power yet again for the team on the right. As all the way to the top, they seem to be controlling the situation rather alright, with Chaos right about now taking plenty of chariots. Yeah, there doesn't seem to have been any kind of myth unit. You can see, for example, the Scorpion Man, that would have been very nice steal. But yeah, well, he kinda had to use it already. He already had to use it with even an elephant coming forward, and obviously another Miguel Stronghold, as it almost seems like there was one attempt, second attempt, and third attempt. Almost seems that he was basically switching that 2 times over. Well, at any rate, seems that actually right now Fargo is gonna be able to defend rather comfortably, and considering that the defenses are not all that massive here, no, even with the Migdol there, then I'm fully expecting, yep, they're gonna be instantly resigning that. Because that really is not something they're gonna be ready to defend at all. You can see right now Bogsveigir is basically on the last, not gonna last breath, not really. He's just gonna hang in by the thread, let's say, against Fargo with a bit of assistance from SonOfAyahxRaven. But as to the bottom side, you can see the battle is definitely not going well for MythOfAgeology, losing the few Kontarai there. You can see the citizen also annihilated here in the middle, and even though he was trying to switch into some Kiribati stage, just not entirely ready for that anymore, or anyway, and Palace from SonOfAyah probably would be finished. And of course, that would be also resulting into the TC getting stolen, and Ragnarok pretty much annihilating everything that it could. Okay, well played at this point then. It's gonna be resulting into a 3-0 victory for Fargo. And SonOfAyahxRaven against Bogsveigir and MythOfAgeology. So let's check into the post game a bit. And then I'm going to be doing the reveal. No, it's gonna be reveal for YouTube, because obviously you all already know that, or mostly know, even though I'm right now seeing that Mikahei is not entirely remembering right now the names, so we'll see in a moment. But first, some kind of important information here. Not really, just very well played by Fargo. It's just a massive echo, yet again, even better than for the Atlanteans, just well played. And overall, he actually was able to play very well with all the gods that he has been given in the finals. So really good performance. Seems to be having quite a good grasp of random god. Quite a good grasp indeed. You can see quite a solid army for SonOfAyah. But Fargo playing the most efficient, but he was also having kind of like the strongest units, like with the Jarls and the Frost Giants. You can see 931 to TC Fast Heroic. Fargo was doing kind of similar with 10 minutes, but also quite a bit of army extra on top of that. And you can see 15-minute rack. Well, the potential rack, he wasn't really ready with that yet. Do we see what kind of upgrades he was already having? He was doing right now double copper. And where is the armory? And getting, you can see bronze weapons even and copper shields. Yeah, he will be probably casting it fairly quickly. Once you'll be getting a few more ups there. Quite a nice spike, but obviously that's only the ancestors, unfortunately. As you can see, SonOfAyahx was just way above everybody in the game. Fargo was a bit lower, but he was having the Jarls, and they are 3 pop. And obviously plenty of those Frost Giants, about like 4 or 5. So that's also quite a bit higher pop. So just on sheer pop limit, he will be fairly higher. So yeah. It's kind of the explanation for maybe seemingly low numbers that in reality were exactly not there. So congratulations, I guess, to Fargo and MythOfAgeology, or rather, not Ageology, to SonOfAyahxRaven. That was the team. Right now, blue and green. So congrats on the winning. Yeah, again, thanks Kilty and Shelty for hosting all that many tournaments for us. So yeah, again, that was quite a fun one. And of course, the opponents, Bogsveigir and MythOfAgeology, kind of good job on getting into the finals, even through all the teams that they had in the way. So GG. And at this point, let's have a look into the reveal. I'm having some picture right now for that prepared. Hopefully it's gonna be somehow reasonably visible. Yeah, it seems like that it will. So that's the players that will play in the tournament, and they were of course randomly teamed together. It was just all random, not any kind of choosing of teammates. And for example, the finalists then, who do we have here? Bogsveigir was Grand Monster. Then SonOfAyahxRaven was Nyan Racing Cat. That's a very interesting name. And especially considering that he won the tournament. As Nyan, he plays in tournaments, but he often actually tends to be exited in one of the first rounds because he tends to be playing also Kronos, which kinda is not like the most favorite for 1v1s, let's say. So, but he is a pretty good player, so it's a bit surprising that he doesn't get a bit further in tournaments. Maybe it's gonna be a bit of a breakthrough for him, and he's gonna be able to get through. Who knows? Chance is definitely there. And who are the other players? That was MythOfAgeology was No Mercy. So basically MythOfAgeology and Bogsveigir, yeah, 2 vanilla experts, No Mercy and Grand Monster making it into the finals, so pretty good job. Just kind of confirming how good vanilla players are. And that they really do know how to play Titans. And Fargo, that was Matreus. Yeah. No, quite a good confirmation of Matreus really being quite entrenched and the top echelon of the players. That was pretty solid performance on random gods and random civs. This tournament was actually random civ or random god completely? Random god. It was complete random god. So even of course much more important to be able to be playing all across the board. So just well played. So obviously the other names, I now don't even recall what kind of other players I've been actually streaming in the previous rounds. I do remember Kerimi Plus in one of the first rounds here. It was Lyre apparently. He was playing with Speedy Mike 167, that was Icon. Then I was streaming Arame No Brain, that was SMP4, and I think he was playing with Hungry for Blood Metal. I cannot think that he did, that could have been a team. Not right now certain, but might have been. And then I also streamed Fatal Raids, that was also in the first round, that was more. Okay, so we got even more streamed. AoM123 was Evos Prodo, that's also a name that I recognize from some PMs. And weren't they playing together? AoM123 and more with Fatal Raids. Right now looking at the bracket. Maybe I'm gonna be remembering that. No, actually it was different. It was Speedy Mike and Kerimi Plus. Yeah, that was a match that I don't think I actually was streaming. But I do remember felt Fatal Raids. So maybe they actually did play. Because I now see 1-0 in the scoreboard, but I think I might have streamed that. But nonetheless, you'll be playing right now Fatal Raids with Crony, so therefore more with All Hell Maximus, if that was the team. And Speedy Mike, that was with Kerimi Plus. Yeah, that one I remembered. Then we streamed in the round 2, therefore in quarterfinals. Now trying to remember which one I streamed. Maybe I streamed that match with MythOfAgeology and Bogsveigir. I do remember that I streamed one of the previous matches. And Speedy Mike Enemy plus well doesn't exactly matter too much then. So the winners of the tournament, that means Matreus together with Nyan. So where have they gone over in the tourney? Can right now check the bracket if you want as well. Yeah, I know there were some no-shows, so that was a bit changed for a bit. And then they went across whom? AoM Noob 123 and Herida Wizard. So I think there was a bit of a change there. Did I steal maybe that match as the first one? Because I do remember also Fargo as well. Really, that's 2 weeks ago, so that's too much for me. At any rate, the winners have beaten right now. It was Proto here, AoM Noob 123. And I think that actually it could have been a bit more. Fatal Raids, if I'm not completely wrong. Then the next one was in the quarterfinals. Poodle Helper, you can see Flame. He was playing with King High. King High, where do we have you? With King North. Then in the semifinals, they have won against Norse BR. Therefore, that was Shelty and Happy Smile. So they have beaten Shelty with Swiss Boy. That's quite a high level team. Yeah, that was 2-1 for them. And the other finalists, that means No Mercy and Grand Monster, Bogsveigir with MythOfAgeology. They went straight, they got lucky and got straight into quarterfinals, where they have beaten Speedy Mike, therefore Icon with Lyore, and then in the semifinals they have beaten Oramain No Brain. That means SMP4 with Medium. With Medium. Okay, so that was a different player in there that I was having in my Medium bot, and it was Scuddy. Okay, that was a decent job. So you can see right now, just compare all the names here. And therefore, that's going to be it for right about now the stream of this tournament. Let's right now at the very last second switch it into 3-0. So here again, thank you Shelty and Kilt for hosting it for the community. Hope that players were having fun overall, and you also enjoy that as viewers.